Hey, IDS 301. It's Sunday. No, it's not. It's Saturday, right? I can't. September 5th. I wanted to give you some feedback on the discussion boards that we just finished. I know some people didn't turn them in yet. It shouldn't have a bearing on too many things here. I'm going to tell you right now, there's no Easter eggs in this video. So if you don't want to watch it, like anything else, I guess it's just no reward on this one except knowledge. Wow. Can't put a price on that, can we? All right, so I wanted to talk about some things that I caught, and I didn't want to wait till the Module 3 video, and I think it would benefit everybody in their endeavor and objective to get hardwired in this IDS thing. So let's talk about the disciplinary approaches, first of all. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at um, the learning materials in module 2, is it? Let's see, learning materials in module 2. The interdisciplinary peer, not the interdisciplinary, I apologize, the disciplinary pyramid and the approaches. These are the two images. It's put these concepts in images, okay? So, again, to take a look at the pyramid, if you're following along or whatever, pause it and get this thing on your computer or whatever. I'm looking at this right now. The bottom, these are disciplinary approaches to analysis. All right, and might throw a mishmash of stuff at you. There's really no kind of hierarchy of order that I'm going to tell you this, except to give it to you. So take notes. I would. Okay. At the bottom of this pyramid, we have intradisciplinary. Okay, it's an approach to academic work. Now, why do I say disciplinary? I want you to consider disciplinary work is done based on the root word disciplines, which comes from the discipline. So it's academic. We're not talking about disciplines in terms of repairing a TV or disciplines in terms of learning how to play golf. We're talking about disciplines in academia, okay? Degree programs. They have a specific set. For example, I didn't think I saved it, did I? If you go and look up academic discipline, and again, I'm jumping because I want to establish this. An academic discipline or field of study is a branch of knowledge taught and researched as part of higher education. A scholar's discipline is commonly defined by the university, faculties, and learned societies to which they belong in the academic journals in which they publish research. This is very defined, okay? So a discipline is a field of study. It's a branch of knowledge, all right? Be careful what you're calling a discipline, okay? The NRA is not a discipline, all right? There's just so many things that are not disciplines. So you have to look at it as, is there a degree in it, okay? Homeland Security, there may be a degree in Homeland Security, I don't know, but okay, there's certainly not one in TSA, right? And I'm not using it to pick on anybody because people didn't even use those. Okay, so we go back to this disciplinary pyramid then. I don't know why it's called the interdisciplinary pyramid either. I just saw that. Wow. I'm sorry for that gap. That's the first time I've noticed that. I got to change that. That's wrong. It should be the disciplinary pyramid because interdisciplinary is a part of this pyramid. It's not a descriptor of the pyramid. Whoever it was that I dinged for that, let me know. Okay. Intradisciplinary, a single discipline. Okay. Architecture. Going to study in architecture. It's a discipline of architecture. I'm going to approach designing this building based on my field, which is architecture. And let's use I'm not going to use the example in the discussion board because people are still doing it. One discipline only, okay? If you got a committee looking at a building, they'd be a committee of architects, people who are degreed in architecture, okay? I don't know if you can call yourself an architect if you haven't studied to be an architect, okay? All right, above that is cross-disciplinary. These hierarchies really don't matter, but it is looking at the single discipline to the very advanced. So let's go with it. Cross-disciplinary. The analysis of something that has to do with one discipline, but through the eyes of another discipline, the lens of another. Okay. Again, disciplines. So let's just say, again, let's use the architecture thing. Okay. Architecture is designing a building. They're architecture. They're architects. They're trained in architecture. But they're going to look at this building through a lens of environmental sustainability, another discipline. Okay. So they're going to say, we're going to take our architecture, knowledge disciplines, but we're going to apply environmental sustainability theories and concepts to what we're doing. That's cross-disciplinary. Now, that difference may be subtle from these other ones, but it is a difference, okay? It's not coming at it like architecture and environmental sustainability, whatever, they're doing it cross-disciplinary. They're all architects, trained in architecture, looking at developing a building, but they're using environmental sustainability. Next, we have multidisciplinary. More than one. Could be 10, could be 2. More than one discipline. Okay. The architects are now talking about developing this, but it's going to be a commercial building. So we got these economists working on it over here. We've got some environmentalists working on it over here. All right. We've got some urban planners over here. Now that's a degree, urban planning, right? All these are degreed fields, disciplines. They're all going to do this because the person building this building, the group, has contracted all these to work with. They're going to get reports from all of them. But these people aren't interested in working with each other. They're not tasked with that. It's multidisciplinary, okay? And you notice how I'm talking about disciplines instead of occupations, except for architects that I mentioned. The disciplines come first here. These are trained people in a disciplinary field. That's what was important. But how does that translate into real life, real world as experts? Okay. Now we've got interdisciplinary next. That's us. Same thing as multiple disciplines. All these disciplines: urban planning, environmental sustainability, architecture, and I forgot what I said. Economics from economics. Now they're all going to work together. They're going to meet once a month for 3 hours. They're going to discuss. They're going to deal with a lot of obstacles and challenges. There's going to be egos involved. There's going to be theories and things like that. But they endeavor to put it together in such a way that they submit a report or a plan to this builder, and they've done it in an interdisciplinary type committee. Again, emphasis on disciplines. Okay, these are trained professionals in their fields, the field of study. All right, now transdisciplinary, to go beyond the disciplines. Here's where we bring in other stakeholders. Okay, now here we bring in, besides the urban planners, the environmental sustainability people, the architecture people, and the economists for economics. We're also going to bring in community members, neighborhood family groups, neighborhood watch, an HOA, maybe wherever this is going to be. Things that are not disciplinary. HOA is not disciplinary. Neighborhood groups are not disciplinary, right? They don't have a field of study. They're an organization. So that's transdisciplinary, okay? Now, some of the key features I want to emphasize also in terms of talking about the occupations, remember, okay? So think of yourself and what you wrote and why you got dinged or tanked on it or whatever, okay? Did you use occupations or did you use actual disciplines? Okay, could use them both, but you can't just use occupations. I put that in the instructions. Now here's another one. We've used it as an Easter egg twice. Capitalize the disciplines. I'm not just giving you word salad here. If you didn't capitalize your disciplines, guess what? They're not disciplines. So if I wrote that you didn't name any disciplines and you think you did, are they capitalized? Because if they're not fields of study then. It takes discipline to write about disciplines, okay? Be careful. Some of you are randomly capitalizing anything because you think it's just to be on the safe side. No, no, no. Grammar and spelling is important. If it's not a proper noun, it's not. A salesman is not a proper noun. Okay? Economics is a proper noun when used as a discipline, illustrating disciplinary fields, right? So remember we said capitalize a discipline. I think that was an Easter egg twice. Okay, if you didn't do it, then that just slipped. Again, this is not intentional carelessness that you've demonstrated. You just didn't connect those things as we try to grow through each module to the end where you get out of this course and say, now I know what the heck interdisciplinary studies is, or I got a better grasp on it than I did when I started. Instead of saying, okay, I got this and whiz through with what you know, and it's not coming together. Okay, because it's not easy doing this stuff. It's very conceptual, right? So just remember, not everything's a discipline. Okay, housework's not a discipline. I'm sorry. I do a lot of housework myself for the last 15 years. My son's cleaning his room now. It's not a discipline. I've been a single parent. Single parenting is not a discipline. Um, so think of it in terms of an academic discipline. It's a field of study. All right. This isn't to discount anything else. It just defines what this is. I'm not demeaning it, like I said. I'm just identifying it in a particular way as an academic field of study, okay? Occupations are disciplines, again, okay? So if you struggled in that discussion board, I think I probably touched on where you kind of lost track. Also, if you noticed that it was about domestic terrorism, and if you didn't relate any of your examples to that, then that was a problem as well. So get back to me if what I touched on here did not match what you did or what you think you got dinged for. Okay, let's talk about something else now. Describing interdisciplinarian. That was another discussion board I scored this morning, and it was great. Most of you did just fine, just well, great, good, great, great. Okay, if you didn't do that well, or if you got dinged a certain amount of points, do you remember one of the first Easter eggs I said? Do you remember another Easter egg I said? IDS equals integration. What my goal was when I started this is to hardwire that into you. IDS equals integration, and then actually to take it to the level where IDS is the interdisciplinary studies is a field of study. Integration is the process we use, and it's the goal that we have. Integration, it's the simplest, clearest form. So if you gave me combining, melding, synthesizing, stuff like that, I'd probably still ding you because I need to see integration. I want you to get that. Otherwise, it still means that you haven't connected with me yet on that. And it still seems you're either trying to reinvent the wheel, okay, or you're just trying to be that different contrarian, which is fine, but get the hardwiring. You know what Jackson Pollock is? One of the greatest artists in the 20th century. Go look his stuff up, Jackson Pollock. It looks like he just dribbled stuff all over a canvas. And people said, well, I could do that. Well, you can, but guess what? You didn't. He was the first one to do it, and he did it knowing what the rules were and then how to break the rules. Okay? After that, it's just copying. All right, so know the foundational stuff first. That was a very weird apples to oranges analogy, right? Okay, so grammar and spelling is important. Okay, don't use slang. All right, we're writing an upper level university course. Okay, so the good news is almost everybody in this class is A or B, and almost everybody's passing at least, and we're still early, of course, but there's no reason to panic. But I just wanted to clear that up with the disciplinary pyramid, which I have to change. It should be just a disciplinary pyramid. Okay, and disciplinary approaches. You can see that again right here on this one where if we go all the way to the left, is that over here under my nose? Um, you can see it's mainly says discipline to problem. That's intradisciplinary. Next one, cross-disciplinary. Discipline to another discipline to the problem. Third one is multidisciplinary. Discipline, 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 problem. But they don't cross lines. Interdisciplinary, see how they intersect before you go to the problem. And then transdisciplinary, problems in the center, disciplines, and there would be stakeholders also. This should help you to get an image of what it is we're talking about. Okay, I think that's all I have. I don't want to go that long. One more thing, late policy, we're doing better on that. You understand it. 5 days. You have a due date, then you could be 5 days late. 5%, 10%, 15, 20, 25%. That's the penalty of returning late. Again, I don't judge you. It's okay. You do what you need to do. Just know the hit that you're going to take on your work. Better off to take 10% and I'm sorry, I fell yesterday. I'm bloody everywhere. Take the 10% hit and turn in a better paper in 2 days. Great. Okay. So remember, after 5 days, it's going to shut off. All right. That's all I got. Sorry, this is an extra video, but I think it's important to get you this information. If you don't, if you didn't get this far, well, you might, whatever. All right. Forks up. Have a great Labor Day weekend. Is that what it is? Who even knows, huh? I will talk to you on Wednesday, I think. My schedule says the video is, I'm going to do it maybe Monday or Tuesday, okay? Forks up. Peace.